Hi again. Kenneth Scott, Latourette, History of Christianity, page 160. The defeat of the Arians. The seeming victory of Arianism, due as it had been to the Emperor Constantius, was illusory. However, the reversal of the tide did not come quickly. In 361, death removed Constantius. As we have seen, his successor, Julian, sought to restore paganism and was, accordingly, not averse to the weakening discord of the church. In the church, rather. Athanasius was able to return to Alexandria, but within the year, Julian ordered him again into exile, his fourth, for his success in winning pagans to the Christian faith. On Julian's early death, that is in 363, Jovian, a Christian, was elevated to the purple, but was little interested in ecclesiastical disputes. Athanasius once more returned to Alexandria. Jovian was followed by Valentinian I, who soon made his brother Valens his colleague and put him in charge of the East. Valens was under the influence of the Arian clergy, for they were strongly entrenched in Constantinople, and Athanasius, for the fifth time, was exiled. Yet Valens was not as vigorous a supporter of the Arians as Constantius had been. The Arians were weakened by internal divisions. Some took an extreme position. They would not say that the Son is like, that is, homois, the Father, but frankly declared that he was unlike, anomoias, I think is better pronunciation, the Father, but he was fallible and might sin. They were known as the anomoians. In the middle were those who used the term homois and could be called homoians. That is the word similar. On the other extreme were those who approached the Nicene views and who eventually made common cause with the Nicene party. They have been called semi-Arians. But this probably is not accurate. They were reluctant to say that the Son is homoousion with the Father, of the same substance, apparently because they felt that this term meant Sabellianism, with the loss of individuality of the Son and therefore unreality of the Incarnation, and accordingly the failure to realize the wonder of the gospel in making it possible for men to share in the nature of God without themselves being absorbed into God and losing their individual identity. They were, however, prepared to say that the Son was homoiousion, namely of similar substance with the Father. These differences among the Arians had begun to appear before the death of Constantius. As we have seen, it was the middle-of-the-road group, the homoians, who won out under him and who, in synods, controlled by them, anathematized both the anomoians and the homoiousians. These differences continued and deepened. In their views, the adherents of the Nicene formula began to approach the semi-Arians, or better, homoiousians, at a council or synod held by Athanasius in Alexandria in 362, in an effort to win over the Meletians, who were numerous in Egypt and who were apparently homoiousians. A way to reciprocal understanding was sought. So we gather from a synodical letter which grew out of the gathering, by declaring that it is correct to hold that in God there is only one ousia, but that there are the three hypostases. Hypostasis was a term found in both Platonic and Stoic philosophy and could be used as an alternative word for ousia. The Synod of Alexandria, indeed, seems to have regarded the two as interchangeable. However, in the development of the thought of the Nicene party, ousia came to be regarded as the equivalent of the Latin substantia, that is, substance, and hypostasis as translatable into Latin by persona, or person. At Alexandria, it will be noted, the question of the Holy Spirit became more prominent than at Nicea. At Alexandria, it was made clear that the approved belief was that the Holy Spirit is not a creature, but inseparable from the Father and the Son. The formulation of the position that clearly distinguished between ousia and hypostasis, and said that in God there is only one ousia, in which Father, Son, and Holy Spirit share, but there are three hypostases, or hypostases, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, was largely the work of what are often called the three great Cappadocians, Gregory of Nazianzen, Basil of Caesarea, and Gregory of Nyssa. It was they who led the way in so interpreting the Nicene symbol that it won the support of the large majority of the Eastern bishops, including many of those who had been classed with the Arians. They represented what might be called right-wing Origenism, that stream of thought which had been reinforced by Origen and which held that the Logos has always been equal with the Father. All three men were natives of Cappadocia, in what later was known as Asia Minor, immediately to the west of Armenia. All three have continued to be held in the highest esteem by those Eastern churches which bear the name Orthodox. Their dates of birth are somewhat uncertain, but all appear to have been born soon after the Council of Nicea. They were younger contemporaries of Athanasius. More about them next time. Put in a link to B.F. Westcott on the Logos.